someone that needs no introduction. Mr. Smith, the founder, chairman, and CEO of Vista Equity Cap Partners, a leading global investment firm focused exclusively on investing in businesses that develop and use technology, software, and data to promote economic equity, ecological responsibility, and diversity and inclusion for the prosperity of all. There's no clearer example of Mr. Smith's vision for an equitable future than his decades of philanthropic work in our communities. We've seen it through his various contributions to education for underrepresented students of color, including the groundbreaking pledge of $34 million to pay off student loan debt for 2019 Morehouse College. We've also supported investments in minority-owned small businesses and lower-income communities. There's simply no denying that Mrs. Smith's successful efforts to pay it forward have improved the financial futures of so many in our community, making him a trailblazer and one of the greatest business leaders of our time. There's a lot more I can say about him. It's all written here, but we want to hear him speak. When's the last time you've heard from the richest black man in America? So, Mrs. Smith, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you have the responsibility for telling everyone in this room how they can get rich.
All right. I'll do my part. Thank you, Chairwoman, and good to see both you brothers. It is important to celebrate the stories and learn from them because it is what makes our community resilient, strong, capable, and as I say, we are enough to solve our own problems. I go to how I was raised. I was raised by two school teachers. I was raised in a community of no banks. I was raised in a community where there were no supermarkets. I was raised in a community where I felt loved by the people in my community. Loved in a way that they took time to educate me, to take time to ensure that when I got home from school, when we were bused, that there was someone in our neighborhood who would take all the kids until our parents got home. And all the kids had a chance to have a nutritious snack, and the older kids taught the younger kids math and science and reading until our parents came home. That beloved community is what I remember, and it's what I was born in, and is what I want to see us propagate. While our communities have changed, we still can provide access to opportunity, education, and love. And I think that's an important part of the message that I would like to continue to bring forward. Is part of what we do is love our community through our energy, our activities, and frankly, through our intellect and what we're able to accomplish. Growing up, I had the good fortune of going to a public high school that had a computer for the first time, my year. And I went and I got real excited about this. And I said, well, how does this thing work? And my teacher said, well, it works on this thing called a transistor. I said, well, who invented that? And he said, well, this place called Bell Laboratories. And I called these Bell Laboratories people and said, because there's one in Colorado, I said, hey, I'd like to get a summer job. They said, great, if you're between your junior and senior year in college, we have some internships. I said, great, I'm a junior in high school, I'm getting all A's in my AP classes. So it's like being in college. They, of course, said no. I called the human resources woman every day for 2 weeks. She stopped taking the call after the second day. And I called her every Monday for 5 months. She called back, there were no answering machines. My dad happened to be home that day. He was a principal of an elementary school. And he said, hey, this woman called from Bell Labs. I called and got an internship at Bell Labs when I was 17 years old. There are multiple important lessons there. One of the most important, quite frankly, is internships can change your life. So, Chairman Waters said earlier today, everyone has a role in addressing this wealth gap. So if you have the ability to create an internship, then you should do it, okay? If it is a small business, a corporation, a legislative caucus, whatever it might be, create more internships. It opens the aperture of opportunity. One of the most important things we can do is expose our young people to the apertures of opportunity. Point one. Point two, I had a good chance to go to a great school, get a degree in chemical engineering, and I learned how to solve some very complex problems with some very elegant solutions. And I learned that through engagement and internships and jobs in corporations where I was, I'm sure, like I always say, underpaid relative to everyone else and overproducing. But what it enabled me to do is learn how business works. So it is important that we create exposure and opportunities in hiring. So diversity, equity, inclusion are critical. The math will all show you that more diverse companies are more innovative, they make more money, they have more profits, they grow faster. And so we need to ensure that we fight back this affirmative action assault that's occurring today, this assault on DE&I, because it is actually an enabling, not just wealth enabling, but education enabling and giving us the opportunities to now, each of us worked in a corporation. Each of us learned our skills and trade at a corporation before we went out on our own. Okay, you've got to go into an environment where it is actually being practiced, where you can become expert. And in becoming expert, spot an opportunity. As I was at Goldman Sachs, I spotted an opportunity. There was a proliferation of these things called computing systems throughout every aspect of the economy. And I realized that what really drives these things is software. And then there was no one focused on doing buyouts in software. So if I hadn't had 15 years of experience in seeing the impact of technology in industry and in corporations, and years of experience as an investment bank, seeing how people were organizing their capital and organizing the opportunities and saying, you know what, no one is investing in this space. And had I not had those experiences, I couldn't do what I do today. So creating access, exposure to our young people is critically important. Now where I sit, and I have an opportunity to look at our community through a different lens because I have a little wider aperture, you know what our community needs? It needs broadband access. Okay, value. Okay, I will tell you, value is being created in this economy digitally. Okay? Years ago, it was through real estate. You saw the real estate crash, we got disproportionately hit. We're trying to make our way back in equity, and you see white households have a much lower percentage of their wealth in real estate. Real estate is not the answer for most, but it is a good investment for some. Okay? The answer actually ultimately is move into digitally enabled businesses. Okay? And if you're running a small business, using a digital infrastructure to get a loan, to book clients, to manage payment systems, to manage your compliance systems, all of that has over a 900% return on investment to those who use that software. So it's critical that we make sure our children have access to digital infrastructure. 82% of our HBCUs are in broadband deserts, and the communities around them are in unaffordable broadband deserts. I come here to Washington, not that I like it so much, even though my mother grew up here. I come here to talk to our Congress people to say, get the broadband infrastructure built out for our HBCUs. We need every one of those students digitally capable to become expert. The second thing we need to do is drive capital into our capillary banking systems. That's the CDFIs and the NDIs. At some point in time, you'll get to a size where you can talk to Chris or me and say, okay, now I need equity capital of tens or hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars, but most of our businesses just need 10,000, 30,000, 50,000, 200,000, and they don't have a bank in their neighborhood. The neighborhood I grew up in still does not have a branch bank. Okay? There's a Wells Fargo sign, but I have never seen that branch open. Okay? Ever. So I will submit to you what we need to do, internships, making sure we hire and push back all the assault on affirmative action, ensuring that DE&I enables us to participate in this glorious economy called the United States, ensure that our HBCUs have broadband capability, and our communities around it have affordable broadband, and drive capital into our CDFIs. So that's how I think.